Hey, what's going on, guys? So before the video begins, two quick things. Number one, I would really appreciate it if you guys hit the like and subscribe button, as it really helps me out. And number two, feel free to go follow me in my brand new Instagram account for this YouTube account. The name is exactly the same, Alter Gaming. The profile pic is exactly the same. And I think I'm just going to be posting memes in that account, since that's really all I use Instagram for anyways. So yeah, that's basically it. And now let's get into the video. With the amount of characters in Injustice 2 Mobile, it's almost inevitable that some characters become forgotten. Some characters are so bad that they are popular at being trash, but some characters are just so useless that they are almost completely forgotten by everybody. I log in every day and I usually forget that I have these characters whenever I flip through my roster. So today, let's look at the top 5 forgotten characters in Injustice 2 Mobile. Number 5, Telekinetic Gorilla Grodd. This character isn't great, however, I don't think he's the worst character in the game either. One really good thing that he has going for him is that he has the reflective shield. Everybody knows that's really OP, and really any character that has that can do decent in Champions Arena and in regular arena. But his passive is way too bland. He has a 50% chance at level 5, his passive, of preventing the opponent from tagging out. So whenever the opponent tries to tag out, he basically just pulls them back in and does like 4,000 damage or 3,000 damage, somewhere around there. That's really not great at all, especially in raids, because it's completely useless. And in Champions Arena and in regular arena, I feel like the opponent still manages to tag out and tag back in. Like 60% of the time. I don't think this passive triggers as often as it should. So that's a really bad thing. On top of that, this character is an OG character. And the fact that he's almost at the bottom of my roster says a lot. If you've been in the game the longest, or, one of the longest running characters, and you're still at the bottom, that's not a good thing at all. They definitely need to refactor this character. I think he could be great, but for now, I think the only reason why people know about him is because he's a sub-boss in raids, and not because he's a character that you can actually have in your roster. Number 4, Batman Ninja Harley Quinn. It's kind of sad that I have to add this character to the list, especially since the Batman Ninja team is one of the most well-known and one of the most OP teams in the whole game. But I'm really adding Harley Quinn to the list because everybody knows about Robin. Everybody knows about Catwoman. Everybody knows about Gorilla Grodd. Everybody knows Batman. If I were to ask anybody, name me all of the Batman Ninja characters, they would completely forget about Harley Quinn because everybody else is way better than she is. You might say that she's a decent teammate as she adds more health and more attack. However, when you have Catwoman's immortal ability, who cares about your health? When you have Gorilla Grodd, who cares about your attack? Both of these characters single-handedly do everything that Harley Quinn does, except way better. Plus, when you add Robin to the mix, you can heal, you can do dot damage, you can increase your energy with Gorilla Grodd, you can increase your basic attack hits with Gorilla Grodd. Everybody else just does way more things than Harley Quinn does, and that's really why she's falling short. Plus, to be completely honest, until I started making this video, I didn't even know why she was a Batman Ninja character. And the only reason why I found out is because I was wondering why she looked animated. So, that's a really bad thing when you've been in the game for so long and people don't even know what team you're a part of. That's a really bad thing. Plus, I don't even know how to get her shards anymore. I think she evades every once in a while in arena. But regardless, I think everybody can agree that she is super unpopular because everybody else in the Batman Ninja team is so great. Number 3, Enraged Bane. Enraged Bane is a really old character. He's been in the game for a really long time, so the fact that he's on this list is saying something. Enraged Bane's passive is really simple. Basically, whenever he gets hit by a special attack, he becomes unblockable for like 7 or 6 seconds. I can't remember off the top of my head. But either way, I think most people make this character to be like one of the worst characters in the game, and I just completely disagree. I don't think he's as bad as most people say he is, but I also don't think he's good. I think if they ever refactor this character, all I want is for the developers to add maybe 5 or 6 more seconds to his passive. I think that would be awesome because I think he would actually be a pretty good combo builder. I mean, think about it. Whenever you corner a sub-boss or any opponent and you start doing your combo and you underhit, what's the next thing you have to worry about? Whether or not the boss is going to block, right? So then you have to determine whether or not you want to swipe back or you want to keep hitting and take your chances. But with Enraged Bane, you would never have to worry because he becomes unblockable. So you could do almost kind of like a small infinite combo whenever you corner the opponent, which could actually be pretty cool. Regardless of my opinions, though, I know most people forget about this character. He's really forgettable because, his passive doesn't last that long. He doesn't have any sort of special attributes to his specials at all either. So, yeah, this character falls short in the popularity contest. Number 2, Firestorm. This character is without a doubt one of the trashiest and one of the most unpopular characters in the whole game. His passive is incredibly bland. He basically just decreases the amount of dot damage that your teammates can take. Now, this doesn't sound super horrible, but when you compare him to John Stewart Green Lantern and Hellboy, you really begin to wonder why Firestorm is in the game to begin with, right? His specials also have like basically nothing special about him. I don't even remember how to get shards for this character. I always forget that he's in my roster. Whenever I'm flipping through and I see him, I just wonder why. And if I could sell him for like 100 gems, I will be really happy because this character serves absolutely no purpose. Hellboy does basically the same thing, except that he takes the dot damage and he heals himself. Now that is way better in raids because most people have figured out how to have their damage dealers only tagged in to do basic combos and specials, right? Damage dealers should, in theory, never take any sort of damage. So what the heck is the point of having Firestorm in your team? And nobody really, is super tactical in Arena or in Champions Arena. So again, no point in having him in your team when you can just have Hellboy. Plus, John Stewart Green Lantern, I think he does exactly the same thing, except he has like 5 other passives. And he's got armor pierce specials. He does those really cool saw things that come out of the floor in his special 1. His special 3 has a mace, which you guys know I always talk about that. That's really badass. But yeah, Firestorm he's just a no-go for me. I don't know why he's in the game, and I think most people forget about him on a consistent basis. Number 1, Black Canary. I have never in my entire life seen any gameplay of Black Canary ever. I do occasionally run into her in Champions Arena, but that's usually just a silver Black Canary. And to be a little bit more specific, I'm talking about both Black Canaries, the silver and the gold version. These characters are so unbelievably unpopular. I have never been asked, Alter, how do you get more shards for Black Canary? Because nobody is looking to get this character. You just accidentally get her, from raids or anywhere else, and you forget about her. Every single time I flip through my roster, I'm not even going to lie, I don't even remember getting her. I don't even know that I have her in my roster, even if I'm flipping through my roster, and checking every single character to see what I want to do with them. I always forget about her. I just don't even know what to say about her because she's so unpopular. Her luck, it's decent at best. Her passives are not even decent. They're like non-existent. I did see only one time somebody used her with Justice League The Flash, but I only saw like 5 seconds of that gameplay before I clicked off. So yeah, this character is just the most unpopular character in the whole game. I never hear anybody talk about her. Nobody ever asks me any questions about her. So she's just got to be at the bottom of the popularity contest. All right, that was the list. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please keep in mind that these characters aren't here just because they're bad. Again, we're talking about popularity. We're not talking about how good or how bad a character is. Now, obviously, if a character is good, he's going to be way more popular than a character who's bad. But also, some characters, like I was saying earlier on, some characters are so bad that they actually do end up becoming popular. These characters are really just in the middle. They're kind of like the middle ground. Where, for example, like I think ENRAGED BANE is actually pretty good. I think TELEKINETIC GRODD is definitely not one of the worst characters in the game. However, I can't say without a doubt that these characters are super unpopular because they're so in the middle. They're too average. That's really the reason why they're unpopular. Obviously, you don't want to have normal characters. You want to have great characters in your roster. So everybody else is kind of just a shadow of the amazing characters that you have. And ENRAGED BANE and TELEKINETIC GRODD just so happen to be those characters. I don't have any hate towards any of these characters except for Firestorm because Firestorm is really frustrating. But for everybody else, they're just kind of there in their own little middle ground section where they're just too average. But yeah, that's basically the whole video. I hope you guys stay safe and stay clean.